Let me ask you a question, and be honest. How many times did you get up last night to use the bathroom? Once? Twice? 3 times? You see, it always starts off small. You wake up around 1 a.m. You feel a little pressure in your bladder. You think, no big deal, I'll go and I'll fall right back asleep. But you don't, because when you come back to bed, the silence is loud, your body's restless, your mind starts racing. You check the clock. It's 2:17 a.m., then 3:04, then 4:20. And before you know it, the sun's coming up and you've barely had 2 hours of uninterrupted sleep. Sound familiar? Here's the part nobody tells you. If you're over 60 and waking up to pee every single night, it's not just about aging. It's not just because you had water with dinner. It's not something you should just learn to live with. It's your body trying to tell you something. And the longer you ignore it, the louder that signal gets. Until one day it's not just your sleep that suffers. It's your energy, your focus, your heart, your blood sugar, even your memory. But here's what's even more frustrating. You probably think you're doing everything right. You cut out coffee after 3 p.m. You go to the bathroom before bed. You even try those calming teas or breathing apps. And yet, every night, the same routine. Eyes open, pressure in your bladder. Another slow, lonely walk down the hallway. What if I told you there are just 2 small mistakes, yes, 2, that almost everyone over 60 makes that silently cause these nighttime interruptions? 2 mistakes that no one talks about at your checkup. 2 things you probably do every single day without realizing they're making your nights worse. And the best part? Once you fix them, you could finally experience something most people over 60 have forgotten even exists. Unbroken, peaceful, healing sleep. Imagine waking up in the morning without aches in your knees from midnight walks, without the foggy head or heavy eyelids. Just feeling rested, clear, like yourself again. And before we go deeper, I'm going to say this straight. If you're someone who's over 60, or you love someone who is, and you don't subscribe to this channel, you are making a dangerous mistake. Because here at Elderly Spring, we don't do fluff. We don't do trendy hacks or overnight fads. We give you truth, tools, and science-backed ways to live the life you deserve after 60. Not just a life of survival, but of strength, independence, and peace. So go ahead, hit that subscribe button right now. And if you're one of those people who refuses, fine. But do us all a favor. Scroll down to the comments and explain why. Tell us what you're afraid of. Tell us what's more important than your sleep, your energy, your peace. Because when your nights start to fail you, your whole life follows. In this video, I'm going to show you exactly what those 2 mistakes are, and how you can fix them, starting tonight. No gimmicks, no pills, just practical changes that bring real results. So comment, yes, that's me right now if this is your life. And stay with me, because what you're about to hear could be the start of the best sleep you've had in years. Let's begin. Let's start with the first big mistake. And this one, it fools even the smartest people. It fooled Gerald. Now Gerald is 68, retired school principal, married 42 years, still takes morning walks, watches his sugar, keeps to a solid bedtime. He's what you'd call on top of his health. But every night, like clockwork, he was waking up 3, sometimes 4 times just to pee. And it made him feel helpless, like something was broken inside him. He'd done all the usual things, no caffeine after lunch, no soda at dinner. Still, he was up all night, watching the clock and dragging through the day. So what was Gerald doing wrong? It wasn't the obvious things. It wasn't coffee. It wasn't alcohol. It was his evening routine. Every night after dinner, Gerald would sit down with a mug of warm chamomile tea. He believed it calmed his nerves, helped him sleep. Sound familiar? What he didn't know was that many herbal teas are natural diuretics, meaning they actually encourage your body to produce more urine, especially teas with hibiscus, dandelion, or lemon balm, and that glass of light apple juice he drank after his walk, full of fructose, which can irritate the bladder lining. Even warm milk, yes, milk, can increase nighttime urination in some people, especially if you're lactose sensitive and don't know it. Here's the science. Your kidneys don't shut off when you sleep. They simply slow down. But if you've overloaded them right before bed, they'll do one thing: wake you up. Even worse, your bladder becomes more sensitive with age. So what didn't bother you at 40 now causes sleep disruption at 65. The misconception we hear all the time is, I have to stay hydrated even at night. And while hydration is vital, timing is everything. Because water, juice, broth, tea, it all needs time to filter through your kidneys. If you drink a full glass of anything within an hour or two of sleep, you're setting yourself up for a 3 a.m. wake-up call. So what's the fix? Stop all fluids 2 to 3 hours before bedtime. Not 30 minutes, not an hour. 2 to 3 full hours. If you must sip something, go for room temperature water, and just a small amount. Avoid anything citrus-based, carbonated, or with sweeteners, yes, even the natural ones. And look at your evening snacks. Some fruits, like watermelon or grapes, are basically liquid in disguise. This one shift alone, just changing your fluid habits after dinner, can dramatically reduce how often you wake at night. But here's the thing. Even if you perfect your nighttime drinks, even if you follow all the rules and your bladder still drags you out of bed at 2 a.m., then we need to talk about the second mistake. And this one's even more dangerous, because it's hidden. Let me introduce you to Dolores. She's 72, sharp, independent, active in her church choir. She never smoked, no history of major illness. But for the past year, she's been waking up to pee almost every single night. Her friends told her it was normal. Her family brushed it off. She figured it was just part of getting older. But something about it didn't sit right. So finally, she brought it up at her routine checkup. Her doctor listened carefully and ordered some extra tests. And what they found left Dolores speechless. Her nightly bathroom visits had nothing to do with her bladder. They were early warning signs of something far more serious. Her heart was struggling. Mild congestive heart failure, a condition where fluid builds up in the legs during the day and shifts to the kidneys at night. Which is why she was fine all day. But the moment she lay down to sleep, the pressure triggered urination. Here's what most people don't realize. Waking up to pee at night can be the first sign of type 2 diabetes, sleep apnea, cardiovascular problems, kidney decline. Even subtle hormone shifts can play a role. It's called nocturia, and it's not always a bladder problem. It's a symptom, a message from your body that something deeper might be going on. The problem is, most seniors shrug it off. They say, that's just what happens when you get older. But that's a dangerous belief, because by the time you notice swelling in the legs, brain fog, snoring, fatigue, or mood changes, the condition has already been progressing quietly, sometimes for years. Here's what you should do. Talk to your doctor. Don't just say, I wake up at night. Say, I wake 2-3 times to pee. My sleep feels broken. I feel bloated or lightheaded. Ask them to check your blood sugar, blood pressure, kidney function, sleep patterns, and yes, heart rhythm, and keep a nighttime log for a few days. Write down what time you sleep, how many times you wake, and what you drank that evening. That one simple log can reveal a pattern that even your doctor might miss. The truth is, the body whispers before it screams, and waking up to pee? It's often one of the first whispers. You have the power to hear it early, to act early, and protect your energy, your memory, and your future. Because when ignored, these small nightly disruptions don't just steal your sleep. They slowly chip away at your health. But don't worry, you're not too late. In fact, by watching this, you're already ahead of the curve. And up next, we'll talk about the emotional toll this takes and how to shift from fear to confidence. Let's take a moment and be honest with ourselves. This isn't just about peeing at night. It's about what that broken sleep really takes from you. When you lose sleep, not once, not twice, but every night, it does something deeper than just make you tired. It starts to chip away at who you are. You wake up foggy. You forget simple things, names, appointments, where you placed your keys. You snap at people you love because your nerves are frayed. Your balance is off. Your spirit feels dull. You stop doing things you enjoy, not because you don't want to, but because you simply can't keep up anymore. And all of that starts with the night, with the silence, with the bathroom light flickering on again at 2 a.m. and again at 3:45, and again at 5:12. That constant cycle robs you of something precious, peace, not just sleep, but that deep, healing, soul-level rest that helps you feel like yourself. And the worst part? It makes you feel alone, like you're the only one dealing with it, like nobody understands what it's like to walk those dark hallways barefoot, half asleep, praying you don't bump your hip against that same dresser corner again. But I want you to hear this clearly. You are not alone. And you are not failing. You're not weak. You're not overreacting. You're not just old and tired. You are someone whose body is asking for help. That's not weakness, that's wisdom. Because the truth is, those two mistakes we talked about, they're not signs of failure. They're signs that no one ever taught us how sleep really changes after 60. How your bladder, your hormones, your organs, they all shift quietly, and no one sends you a memo. But now you know. Now you can act. So tonight, do this for yourself. After 6 p.m., log everything you drink, not just water, but teas, juices, soups, even fruits. Then ask yourself, are my ankles swelling by evening? Is my mouth dry when I wake? Do I sometimes feel my heart flutter at night? Those little clues matter. They could be pointing to the real reason your sleep keeps breaking. And don't worry if it feels like a lot right now. It's okay to feel overwhelmed. What matters is that you're here, taking the first step. You're doing more than most people ever do. Because most people, they just accept it. They let poor sleep slowly turn into poor health. And then one day, they don't know how they got so tired, so weak, so disconnected. But that's not going to be your story. Not anymore. You've got this. You've got knowledge. You've got tools. And you've got us, right here at Elderly Spring. This community is full of people just like you, people who decided to stop suffering in silence and start taking charge of their nights so they could enjoy their days. And here's the most beautiful part. It's not too late. Not for deeper sleep, not for better mornings, not for clearer memory, stronger energy, and more peaceful nights. Because everything starts with awareness, and right now, you're more aware than ever. So let this be your turning point. Let this be the night you stop saying, "This is just how it is," and start saying, "This is where I begin again." We're here with you, and we're not going anywhere. Now take a breath, and get ready to take your sleep and your life back. Let's take a moment to bring everything together. Because sometimes, when you hear so much new information, it's easy to feel overwhelmed. So here's a gentle recap. We talked about the two biggest mistakes that silently rob so many people over 60 of their sleep and their peace. Mistake 1, drinking the wrong liquids at the wrong time. Herbal teas, sweet juices, even warm milk. They can be mild diuretics or irritants that push your bladder into overdrive, especially when consumed too close to bedtime. And then there's mistake 2, ignoring what your body might really be saying. Because when you're waking up to pee 2, 3, or 4 times every night, it might not be about your bladder at all. It could be your heart, your blood sugar, even your lungs while you sleep. These are whispers from your body. And today, you listened. And for that, I'm proud of you. But I want to go one step further. Have you noticed any of this in your own life, or in someone you love? What's your nightly routine like? What small change helped you sleep just a little better? Please, go down to the comments and share your experience, because your voice matters. Your story could be the reason someone else, maybe halfway across the world, finally feels seen, finally feels understood, finally feels hopeful. And if you've made it this far, I have to believe something in this video touched you. Something rang true. Maybe it confirmed what you suspected, or maybe it opened a door you didn't know was closed. Either way, I want to gently ask you to do something that might change your health journey for good. Subscribe to this channel, Elderly Spring, because here, we're not just a channel, we're a community. We care. We share real answers, real hope, and real healing, without the noise, without the shame, without the confusion. And if you still won't subscribe, then at least do something honest. Scroll down to the comments and tell us why not. Let it be heard. Because if you're struggling silently, if you're suffering alone, we want to know what's holding you back. And maybe, just maybe, we can walk through it together. And if this video gave you a little clarity, a little comfort, a little peace of mind, tap that like button, not for me, but so YouTube knows this is the kind of content the world needs to see more of. Because no one talks enough about sleep after 60. No one tells you how it changes until it's already broken. But now you know, and knowing is powerful. So to you, wherever you are, whatever time it is right now, thank you. Thank you for trusting us. Thank you for taking the time to care for yourself. Thank you for choosing hope over helplessness. Sleep well tonight. You've earned it. And remember, your health journey doesn't end at 60. It begins anew, right here, right now. Stay strong, stay kind, and as always, stay spring-hearted.